Welcome to People. I'm Shirley Lin. Today, I'm really honored to have a doctor in the studio with me. He is Robert Chung, who is an attending physician of the Department of Anesthesia at Linkou Chang Memorial Hospital. So it's really my pleasure to have him here because I got curious about anesthesia and just the field of it. But anyway, let's meet Dr. Chung. Hi, doctor.
Hi.
Oh, sorry. Can I call you Robert or should I call you Dr. Chung?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Either way?
Either way.
Okay. All right. Well, Robert, it's really honored to have you here and willing to talk to me about, things that normal people don't know much about, anesthesia for that matter. But before that, how did you get into medicine? Can we go back and talk about, it's like people kind of look up to people who are doctors, so was it your choice to study medicine? Have you always wanted to study medicine?
I choose medicine to be my career. Maybe it's because my parents' expectation.
One of those typical Taiwanese families.
Yeah, and I chose anesthesia to be my medical career. It's based on some reasons. First, I don't like to face patients in outpatient clinics every day, so I might step back to be a second-line doctor. But among the second-line doctors, there are pathologists, radiologists, or anesthesiologists. But anesthesiologist is a kind, the job is dynamic. You need to learn some skill, so many. You need to move your hands and you walk around. So I think it's more dynamic. It's a job more dynamic, and also you need to learn pharmacology, anatomy. So it's quite interesting. And the other advantage of the career is when you leave the office, you don't need to worry about your patients. Let the surgeons to worry about their patients. So it's a very clear-cut job. As a doctor
of anesthesia?
Yeah, so I think that's why I chose anesthesia to be my career.
Okay, now that's really hard word to say. So I don't know how many times you're going to say it throughout the interview, anesthesia. But, the thing is that maybe for, our viewers or our listeners, it's just that the way things are in the education system in Taiwan, it kind of depends on whether you've always been a good student, you've got good grades in school, and that puts you, whether, to study medicine or study law. But obviously, most Taiwanese parents would like to see their children study somewhere up there, like medicine or law, and anything that kind of requires high grades, okay? And then getting into top schools. And so I'm assuming, Robert, that you are one good student, an A student probably, and when you were younger. So that's why.
Not bad.
Not bad, okay. You admit you weren't bad. So, but you wanted to study medicine, or it was mostly because your parents wanted you to?
Actually, when the second year in medical school, I want to transfer to art school, I want to study economics instead of medicine.
Really? That's why I studied economics? Yeah. No, you should be happy you stay with medicine.
Yeah. But because at the time, just for the previous years, we learned the anatomy. Anatomy is a quite boring course, so very boring object.
Not according to my daughter.
So I think, do I need to, go further 5 years in this kind of boring school, boring objects? So I think maybe I just to pick up other school or other objects, other major, right?
Right.
And at that time, I learned some foreign correspondence. The 联合报, So
United Daily?
I often read the article the guy wrote. So I think that's a good job to live outside the country and to do some job you like to do. So that's good.
But you like writing?
I try to be like write a good article, but I'm not good at writing. But my wife is a good writer, I think.
Okay.
But all the thinking was pour cold water by my parents. So you just stay there. I mean, don't try anything else.
Really?
So I think, okay, fine. So I try to survive in the later 5 years.
I see.
And so I survived and I graduate. So I pick up the
might as well become a doctor.
Right.
Now, you have 4 brothers, you're saying. Well, including you.
3 brothers, yeah.
3 brothers, okay, 3 brothers. And any of them in medicine?
No.
You're the only one?
Yeah, no.
And where are you in the lining? Are you the oldest?
No, I am the third.
You're the third
Yeah.
child, okay. So you actually have a movie director in your family, and then
my younger brother,
your younger brother, and then your 2 others are in
my elder brother, one in Australia and used to work in IBM company. Yeah.
Wow, that's prestigious company.
And my first brother, my first older brother, he owned a company, a design house.
Your parents must be very content with the 4 of you because you're all very successful, have a great career, great dream. But I see your frown on your face. Why?
You see, maybe they are proud of his children. Maybe my parents proud of their children for some time. But most of the time, we are not with them. We are not with them, all the time. I mean, all of us, live 100 miles from them. But my parents live in Pindong.
Right.
So I think maybe when they getting older, they like to someone to
take care of them
and to stay with them. So I think it's hard to say. They may be satisfied for some time, but most of the time I feel lonely, I think. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's just how it is, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. This is the way life is. Yeah.
But the thing is, are you happy with what you're doing now? Isn't that more important than making our parents happy?
The thing I will feel, satisfied with, come from my family. I have a very, it's good family. I have a wife and two sons, but I don't need to worry much about them. And then it's quite nice. Maybe I'm quite satisfied with my family.
Good.
So that's place I feel happy. Mm-hmm. Not feel happy from making money or from the medical school or from the medical field, medical job. But actually, you can say that this kind of job I can help people every day. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I feel good when I help people, but sometimes it just when you get used to the kind of job, you don't feel that much.
Okay.
But so you need to feel something good from
other than your job.
Yeah, other than my jobs. Yeah.
So you're happy with your family.
Yeah.
You're happy with your sons. Are your sons going to walk in your footsteps, become doctors too?
No.
But not either.
Deep inside, I really like them to step my foot. To be a doctor. But
you do. Oh, okay.
But no, I don't force them to do that. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So what are they pursuing? How old are they?
They're just in the university.
Oh, they're in university.
Yeah,
so
one is going to UBC for first year, and my other one is the third year in school. Yeah, in university.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are their majors?
City job. Electronic.
Electronic. Okay. Electrical engineering.
Yeah, right. Just like just like that. The many young students like to do. Yeah.
That's a very manly major.
Yeah, but
nowadays. Well, that's good. As long as their father's happy with what they're pursuing, as long as they're happy too, and that you're happy, and
very sure. Yeah.
Like giving them the freedom to have to choose what they want,
right.
to choose what they enjoy doing.
Yeah, right.
Right. All right. So at least you do feel an accomplishment, like you're taking care of people, because my second daughter, who is going to start studying nursing, and it's her choice, and it's always been her dream ever since when she was young, to take care of people. She just loves taking care of people. And she would tell my parents and my in-laws that when you get sick, don't worry, I will take care of you.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
she has this responsibility, and she loves taking care of people. She has big loving heart for people. So we look up to people like you who save people's lives. You know, because I mean, ultimately, no matter what dreams we have in life, don't you think that health is the most important thing? Because if you don't have health, don't even talk about pursuing any dreams.
Right.
This is what we think. And right, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right, sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's why people always look up to doctors. You know, even though I think some of us do, I mean, most of us probably do realize that doctor's job is very, very exhausting. It's not anything really, you know, it's not really humanistic in a way, you know, a kind of career. But you know, we know that we need you guys. You know, just like
we need your daughter. The same thing, you know.
Right. Well, that's yes. Their future is very important to us. You know, in the future.
To be either a nurse or a physician, I mean, we had to have a heart, you know, for the patient to like to take care of patients. You know. Actually, the job is very exhausting. It's very tiring. So you need a heart to sustain yourself and going on and on. So it's not easy. So when you choose a job, when you choose this career, you need to ask yourself, is this job really fit you or not? Yeah.
But most traditional parents, Taiwanese parents, don't think that. They just kind of like, they care more about themselves, you know, or they care about their face. Because at least my daughter, when she was talking to some friends, trying to decide whether she really wants to go into nursing, she actually talked to some friends who are already nurses.
Right.
Or actually they call them, they have a different name now, 护理师, which is, what's the actual...
I mean, a higher rank of in the career.
Okay. But anyway, she talked to some nurses, and she said she could tell by the way talking to these nurses whether they like their job or not. I mean, those who like their job and those who don't really like their jobs. You could just tell from the way they talk about their jobs.
It should be very easy to tell.
I know. So she really felt that. But she gets an excitement when she visits hospitals. Like, for example, when my mother-in-law was just in a hospital over appendicitis. She's like in her 70s, and she got appendicitis. And she was in a hospital. She watched these nurses. She got excited about what they're doing, you know. And I'm going like, this is going to be a tiring job. You know, I kept telling her. But then she says, no, I'm really sure what I want to do. You know, I think this is really for me. So after 4 or 5 times of these, like really sit down, talk with her, we decided that we would just support her 100% what she really wants for herself. And she knows that she really wants to do this, you know, study nursing. I know that before she went to like 2 medical camps. She loved them.
Oh, yeah.
She loved them. But the thing though, she's afraid of seeing blood. And I'm going, how can you be a doctor or be a nurse if you're afraid of seeing blood?
But I mean, she will get used to it. I mean, very soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, so much about talking about, you know, medicine and studying to become a doctor and all that. Let's really go into your field of anesthesia. Now, the reason why I really want to interview a doctor like you is because I was in this conversation with our director about anesthesia and how he was saying that, you know, when someone's under anesthesia and you ask him or her any question during that time while he or she is under coma, so to speak, you can ask them for passwords of the bank accounts and they'll tell you while they're under anesthesia. Is this true? I'm so curious knowing about this. You've heard of people who ask you questions like this, right?
No.
No?
It's not right.
Is it true?
It is about sedation.
Yes.
Yeah, when we say sedation, there are 2 levels of sedation, light or heavy. At a light sedation level, people won't get sleep, and you can ask him anything. He can answer you. But at that time, because the defense mechanism is, totally
Down.
So the patient don't have any defense. So what you are asked, he will answer.
Really?
But we can use this kind of, but maybe in psychology clinics, they can use this kind of the method to know what the patient thinking about it in their life.
Right.
But it's not very difficult to get the level. We just inject the sedatives little by little.
Okay. Stronger or
Until
lighter.
he start to talk.
Uh-huh.
It's very similar to the people drinking alcohol. When you drink a certain amount of alcohol, the guy will be talkative, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
cannot stop talking. But when we inject more, he fall asleep, and then he will not respond to your questions. So actually, it's a matter of the sedation level.
Okay.
It's not in coma. When people in coma, they don't answer anything. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. So does that mean that, if police got a criminal and they want to get some truth out of the criminal, under interrogation, if you were to put him on certain level sedative, then maybe he would tell the truth?
No, it is illegal.
It's
illegal for policemen to use this kind of the method to have evidence of the criminal, right?
Really?
Because the guy take off the total defense mechanism. They will say something more than you need.
Okay.
It is illegal.
Illegal?
And then for the criminology, only evidence can talk. So you cannot to use what the suspected talk to be the evidence of his crime or his whatever he did, right? Yeah.
Wow.
It is illegal.
Okay, well, I really learned something here. So, in other words, if you were to ask this patient under anesthesia, like, give me the password to your bank account, will I be able to get that information?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I get it. This is so interesting because I've always wondered, about hypnotism.
Hypnotism, yeah.
Right, anesthesia,
Right.
and or even this other thing. Well, this is a totally different thing. Analgesia, which is just getting rid of pain.
Right.
Well, that's different. The
Different.
person's not under coma, so if you ask him for any secrets, he won't tell. That's different.
Yeah, different.
Because that's okay. Anyway, there's also this thing about regional anesthesia, and also what's the other one? Is general anesthesia.
Yeah.
General anesthesia is like the whole body is like asleep,
Right.
right? But if it's regional, the person is totally awake, so that's something different, right? So that's where. And how does it's what's the difference there? I mean, how do you, or if you give a regional injection, okay, so it doesn't put the person to sleep. Okay. Anyway, I'm kind of answering my own question here. All right. Here's the thing. Okay? Let's get away from I don't know, this curiosity over me about what you can get out of people with anesthesia. What are the things you have to do to prepare someone for anesthesia? I think it's very, very important. It's also very dangerous if you don't do the right preparation, that there could be danger to the person's life, right?
Sure.
So beforehand. Now, I know I asked you beforehand whether a person's weight is really important because it depends. It would then depend on how much sedative you put, inject into the person, right? Because I've had a friend who was in the middle of a surgery and she woke up, and she told the doctor, said, "I'm awake," So yeah. So what happened there? Must be something went wrong, right? That she woke up so quickly, right, while the surgery is still going on.
Right. You just ask many questions, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I just answer one after one, right?
Okay.
The first, the preparation for a such patient. we need to know the organ function and the blood pressure, and if the patient have the major medical diseases, maybe DM, diabetes, or hypertension, or maybe the stroke previously, right? And then we need to know the lab data, biochemical study, for example, electrolyte balance and the blood coagulation profile. And then we will have an assessment score from 1 to 6 for, we say, the anesthetic score, anesthetic status. So I will give a score, then I will tell the patient and the family how much the risk the patient will have to undergo the surgery. So that's and the highest score means the higher risk the patient will have, right? And actually, every surgery need anesthesia. So basically, we don't turn down any surgery, but we will ask the surgeon and the patient, we better give the best preparation for the patient to receive the surgery. So if the blood pressure, for example, if the patient blood pressure is not well controlled, we may tell the patient and the surgeon to postpone the surgery.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
to give the further control of the patient's blood pressure.
Right.
So this kind of thing is called the preparation for anesthesia. But basically, we don't turn down surgery. And for surgery, there is an elective and emergency. For emergency, we don't have time to prepare the patient, right?
Yeah.
We go ahead to tell the family and the patient, there's a really risky for your family member to go through the operation.
Right.
So,
like if there was a car accident and you
right,
need
yeah, you're right.
away.
Many organ dysfunction, yeah.
Yeah.
So there will be a informed consent they need to sign, right?
Yeah.
But even there is a signed permission form, but it doesn't mean we can get away with any liability for the patient,
Sure.
So we need to do, we need to be vigilant. We need to be very careful during the operation.
Wow.
So that's the first question. And the second, you say, people we aware of something during the operation, even when the patient is in coma, in sleep. Yes, it happens sometimes, especially, when we turn down, the anesthetic level.
Why would you
And
turn it down?
But the patient still, the patient still cannot respond to any surgical stimulation because we give the patient muscle relaxant. So the muscle cannot move.
Okay.
All the body cannot move. But he knows in his brain. This kind of thing especially happen in the cardiac surgery when people go through bypass. So maybe we will give a very little anesthetics and the people will know something during the course, during the period. Mm-hmm. So, but in recent days, we know this kind of thing quite possibly happen in the period, right? Uh-huh. So we will give a sedatives during the stage. So, and this kind of awareness during anesthesia is a big issue in states. But I think it is something maybe cause the patient's post-traumatic syndrome disorder.
Yeah.
It's kind of the psychological trauma for some patients. So this kind of thing, happen. As to the dosage of sedative or the anesthetics we give to the patient, based on the body weight.
Yeah.
But actually, there's a wide range.
Oh.
So we just ask the patients the body weight, but we can still have a wide range to use the drug.
Right.
So, and in recent days, all anesthetics are quite safe. Yeah. So I think there is not a real problem in my career. So I think the better choice of the patients and better preparation for anesthesia could be the higher priority for and in our daily job, I think.
Yeah, why do I feel now after listening to you that actually this anesthesia, anesthesia,
Yeah.
what's the title for you? Anesthesiologist?
Yeah, anesthesiologist, yeah. When we,
What a
the
name.
past
Okay.
14 examination, we become anesthesiologist.
Okay,
Yeah.
anesthesiologist. Okay.
It's
It
quite
seems like
mouthful,
more
right?
important. Yes, very mouthful. Seems to me more important than the surgeon himself because of the preparation beforehand. You play a very, very big part, don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. But you need to face the truth. Surgeon always the team. Always a captain of the surgical team.
Yes.
We just, to help them to
Make the job easier.
make job easier and make job, smoothly. We just prepare the patient well, then the surgeon can go smoothly. and eventfully. Yeah.
So it is very important.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anesthesiologist.
But especially, when we face the patient with the unstable vital signs.
Yeah.
Just like a trauma, emergency case, the importance, the status of the position of the anesthesiologist will be, to lead to a higher
level.
Higher level, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's nerve-wracking. If the operation is 7 hours long, then that's how you're tense for those 7 hours because you never know what's going to happen to the patient during the 7 hours of operation, right? And then there have been patients who you realize after you give them the sedative that they're actually allergic to it. Has that happened to you before? There are those who you turned out after you did all the preparation you need to know and need to do beforehand.
You're right.
But then the patient turned out to be allergic to whatever it was in the sedative.
Right. We have this very specific complication in anesthesia. We say malignant hyperthermia. It's a very severe response to a drug, especially to the volatile anesthetics. The breathing.
Okay.
Through the anesthetic we breathing in. Yeah.
So there are different ways, right? There's
Right.
injection and there's also...
Right, yes. So, but recent days, the volatile anesthetics and the muscle relaxants don't give us so much trouble like old days. Yeah, malignant hyperthermia is the most severe complication in anesthesia. But some allergy, you say that, just because of some allergy, we will notice the hive and the erythematous spotting, but it will disappear. In a couple of hours. There's not a big problem. Yeah.
Oh, but okay. So yeah, I'd like to know what happens to a person after the operation, after the anesthesia kind of dies down, kind of like, goes away. What do people go through? Because my son had, he had this problem with like loud snoring. So he actually had a surgery before. And he was pretty old when he had this surgery. It was like when he was in Kaohsiung Junior High School. So when he woke up, I guess he didn't know where he was. He wanted to fight. He was like really, getting offensive.
Right.
And they had to get 6 nurses to kind of like push him down. Right. So what happens when the anesthesia kind of dies down? Okay. What happens to a person?
All right, yeah. We always say, we compare the situation, just the plain landing and the patient outlook of the anesthesia. The same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to, the safety is what we concern, right? So, but if we want to have a smooth emergence from anesthesia. We say emergency, wake up from anesthesia, right?
Oh, okay.
We need to control pain. We need to decrease the anesthetic level.
That's your job too?
Yeah. And we need to wait for the muscle relaxant effect
to go away.
Wearing. Yeah.
Wear out.
Yeah, so wear off, yeah. So when everything is come together and say, there's a time we can remove the tube from his throat. But for your son's case, I mean, because maybe he received a
surgery is right here.
tonsillectomy, above in the throat.
So you can insert tubes.
Yeah, it's painful, and especially there's a tube in the throat, so it enhanced the pain. So it made the scenes more complicated.
Yeah.
But so, and then your son is, I mean, a teenager.
Yeah.
Don't go through many life experiences. So most of them, they cannot tolerate any pain.
Right.
So very excited and very.
He was
sometimes
agitated,
very,
totally.
Yeah. So we need sometimes we can give some narcotics, to analgesics, or sometimes we can.
That's to kill the pain, though.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes we can give the sedative, and then when he come down, we can remove the tube. Yeah, smoothly. Yeah, that's it.
It's amazing. Do people lose memory when they come out of anesthesia? Is that that happened?
It's a big question, you know.
How?
Because I mean even now, we say, I mean, for the younger patients, maybe before preschool children, right? Any general anesthesia will affect their cognitive function somehow, more or less.
Really?
This is the major
mystery?
Not mystery, is a major study field right now.
Really?
And for the patient go through the cardiac surgery, we need a bypass. There are a lot of study. I'm sure they have many micro. How do you say, the blood supply will not distribute evenly your brain, right?
Oh.
So there's some damage, very micro damage of your brain. So people will recover from the surgery, but somehow the cognitive function will be damaged. I mean, more or less, but not in
a major way.
Not in a major way, but yeah.
This is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, I think if you don't need anesthesia, don't go through it.
Well, I'm sure who would choose to, come under anesthesia, but then your body kind of lights up with a red light and say that you need a surgery somewhere.
I mean, I just say, wait, maybe some surgery you can wait.
Oh.
Until the child older and the brain function is more mature.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Chung, Robert, it's been really amazing, just having this interview and learning so much about the field of medicine that's just only opening up to me right now. So I appreciate this. This has really been amazing. So I appreciate, just all this information from you that I've learned so much. And I hope you continue to enjoy your work. Because we all need you. We all a patient at one time. So, but really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you for watching, people. I'm Shirley Lin.